every game, but just if you could take us through that one, kind of what happened and your reaction to it going forward.
Yeah, plain simple, I got zoned in on the play too much, and I didn't do my first job, which is snap the ball and get Deshaun the ball. My reaction was I was very upset. One of the main reasons why I play this game too is to not let the team down, and that's what I did. And I owned that, and I was really can't put into words how frustrated I was with it. It's definitely behind me now because we got to move on to the Bears. But, I let the team down, which I love my brothers. I love Deshaun. He does so much for this team. Really my job is to make his job easier, and I didn't do it on that play. So let the team down, organization down, the city of Houston down.
And Nick, you played a lot of football. As you kind of move on from a mistake, how do you kind of go forward about it? What do you kind of try to do? Learning from it and kind of put it behind you, like you said.
Yeah, you have to learn from it. I mean, it can't happen again, and you do have to learn from it. You have to look at the play, look at the whole game. Obviously, take the goods from the game, and obviously the negatives, which is something that which I focus on more this game, obviously with the end result. But then learn from it, and then move on because there's a lot more football to be played. We got 4 more games, and we got to move on and continue to win.
John McClain.
Nick, you guys are averaging about 40 yards less rushing a game than you have the last couple of years. How frustrating is it that you haven't run the ball better? And is that as important this season, considering how well Watson is playing?
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, obviously, lineman, you want to run the ball well. But at the end of the day, we're going to do whatever we can to win. And I think everyone sees what Deshaun does, and it's special. And, if our way is to win, to throw for 400 or 500 yards, whatever he does back there, then I'm fine with that. We're all fine with that. Whatever we can do to get the win.
How important is it against the Bears? Their defense hadn't been as good, but at one point it was really good. To try to run the ball at Soldier Field.
Yeah, it's very important. I think the established run, and it does, and it opens up other parts of the game, the passing game. And Deshaun's going to do what he does in that regard, as he always does. But it's always important as an O-line, as a running back room to establish that run as a sense of pride, and then also to open up the rest of the passing game.
Aaron Wilson.
Nick, when you look at when you guys drafted Deshaun, what do you remember about that day when you saw that they traded up to pick him? And what did you know about him at that time for you? Is this something that you were
I knew a lot. Well, I lost to him in college, so I'd known a little bit to him. He played an unbelievable game against us at Clemson. I was actually here working the draft when we traded up, which obviously I didn't know we were going to do, but I was very excited just because from seeing the outside and playing him, I knew what type of player he was, and now with him coming in here and just meet him as a person too. I mean, he's just a special person off the field as he on the field. So it's so cool to have him in our lives, and obviously to see what he does on the field is so special. I mean, you never think he can top it, and then he does almost like every game. So it's awesome to have.
What do you see from the Bears front seven, some of the guys they have? I know that you maybe won't see Khalil Mack all the time, but just your thoughts on him and kind of personnel they have there.
Yeah, I mean, there's no question. Everyone knows Khalil Mack is a great player. Robert Quinn's a great player. Obviously, Akeem Hicks, he's a great player. So they're stout up front. They're athletic, great ability to push a pocket. So we got to step up, obviously let our tackles do their things on the edge, and then really support the depth of the pocket for Deshaun inside.
Great. Thanks so much, Nick.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, great, thank you. So when you look at the contributions you got from your receivers, being able to mix in new guys, how difficult was that, or is it not very because they do practice and like Kiki, he's played a lot of football for you, but just to move in like Chad to get him plugged in and get him up to speed in the games.
Yeah, I think that's a testament to really to those two and Stevie Mitchell, and those guys did a great job. Even before last week of coming in and preparing like they were going to play. So if a situation arose and they had to come and their number was going to be called, they were going to be ready. And they had already earned the trust of Deshaun to be able to go out there and make plays. So really, I was proud as hell of all three of those guys for them being able to come in and make those plays and really not skip a beat there as an offense.
What do you say to Nick when you try to coach him up after a mistake, after a low snap, and so what do you think of his play overall this season?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, right away, it's just, Nick, you can't let that play define your day, define you as a person, define you as a player. And it was one snap. All the other ones that we had throughout the day, however many snaps we had, all of them were fielded, and he was able to go out there and execute. So it's unfortunate that happened at that point in that juncture of the game. But that was the biggest message that I just tried to talk to him. I told him he needed to keep leading and keep being the good pro that he is. And Nick does a good job going out there and doing a great job leading that line, communicating, making sure all the mic points are correct with Deshaun. So as far as him throughout the year, he's done a good job going out there and really kind of leading that group and making sure everyone's on the same page.
John McClain?
Tim, considering how well Watson's playing and he throws every route, is the running game not as important as it would be if you had a quarterback who wasn't playing as well as he is?
Yeah, I think, obviously when you have that ability to throw the ball like Deshaun does, it doesn't the lack of the run game, if you will, or my, not doing a good enough job calling it, is kind of bailed out by the fact that he's able to go out there and make plays with his arm, and the wideouts are able to make plays with the ball in their hand. So, yeah, it's a good thing we have Deshaun. Obviously, clearly, he's a great player, and he's playing at a really high level right now. So excited to keep that going. And like I said earlier, I got to do a better job of trying to get that balance, establish that balance, and getting those runners into a rhythm.
When you're making the play calls, do you have to be careful not? I know you said you would never abandon the run, but is it tempting to have him throw even more than he is because of how well he's playing?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously we're going to do whatever we can, John, to try and score as many points as possible. And right now, Deshaun's got a hot hand. He's playing well, but we're going to need to run the ball to win these next 4 games. So I got to do a better job of making sure I can get those guys up front and getting those runners into a rhythm while still allowing Deshaun to be Deshaun.
Aaron Reese?
Hey, Tim. David Johnson's numbers are down as a receiver in targets per game, receptions per game, yards per game, what have you. How much of that is just a function of kind of having a lot of options like you guys do at receiver and also having Duke in the backfield? Or are there things you think you could do to maybe get him a little more involved as a pass catcher like he has been in past seasons in his career?
Yeah, sure. I can do a better job of getting him involved. I think it's also, a case that we've got a lot of guys that can win, a lot of guys that can get open. And so when that's the case and you've got multiple people that are capable of getting open and getting the ball and that the quarterback trusts, there's going to be multiple options on each play. So, yeah, I can definitely do a better job of getting him involved in the passing game. But some of that is attributed to, like I just said, the multiple receivers that we have and their ability to win and get open.
Aaron Wilson?
So you look at the tight end position. Do you want to get them more involved, just start getting especially Jordan Akins and kind of going back to some things that you guys did earlier in the year where he had a lot of production?
Yeah, if it means we're going to win the game, yeah, absolutely.
And as far as the blocking assignments, what about Khalil Mack? Just in terms of trying to account for this guy, is there anything special when it's a guy like that has that much production? What are some of the things that you try to do strategically?
Yeah, I'd be more willing to share those plans after the game. But he's a good player. He's a great player. He's really strong. He's incredibly flexible. He's got great instincts. He's as good as there is, in this league, and he's playing at a really high level. So it's a big challenge for our guys up front, and everyone's going to, especially those two tackles. They're both going to get a piece at him. And really, they got to come and they got to play well in order to try to minimize his impact on the game. He is a very, very good football player.
Great. Thanks so much, Jim.
Thank you, guys. Have a good day.
How are you?
Good, how you doing?
Good, thanks. Zach, about your season right now, the kind of ball that you're playing, how you doing?
Can't you breaking up? Sorry. What'd you say?
I was asking how you feel about your season individually. Obviously, you just know the record that you're hoping for, but just the way the kind of football that you're playing individually.
Yeah, I feel pretty good about the season that I've had this year. I mean, like you said, obviously wishing for a better record, but yeah, I definitely feel good about my play.
The stop that you guys made together, Terrell Adams, can you take us through that play and kind of the teamwork you guys had on that tackle?
Yeah, it's just a great play on my part and TA's part, Tyrell's part. Just being both of us being instinctive backers, being able to see it play out and go make the play.
Mark Berman.
Zach, what does it mean to you that you are leading the fan voting inside linebacker in the AFC?
Oh yeah, definitely feel pretty good about that. I mean, I feel like it's been long overdue for me, but I feel good about it though.
Were you surprised at all? You have over 61,000 votes so far.
No, I wasn't.
Okay. I mean, not surprised that you deserve the recognition. Surprised that maybe that you are getting it now.
I mean, not really. Like I said, I feel like it's long overdue for me, but yeah.
You feel pretty honored by it?
Yeah, for sure.
Have your teammates said anything to you about it?
They haven't said too much. I guess they're trying to keep me humble.
What would it mean to you if you earned that spot?
Like you said, just for me that I actually got the recognition that I feel like I should have gotten by now. That's definitely would mean a lot to me.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Great. Thanks so much, guys.
I made a promise to myself that if I ever made it to the NFL, I would always give back to the communities where I come from because, I remember being that kid wishing that, NFL players either from the Texans or whatever might come to my school and surprise us, might give back to, to the schools that I went to the communities that I came from, because I know what type of impact it would have. And I would see the Play 60 commercials and, see the joy that, those kids will have on their face by having those NFL players present. And I understand now that I'm in the NFL the type of impact that we can have. So I've always said, you know what, any chance I get to give back, I'm going to do it because I want to have that impact on somebody growing up, one of the kids that's growing up in the communities I come from. I want to try to offer resources that they probably otherwise wouldn't be afforded to. So that's just who I am, man. And it's, like I said, it's humbling. It's a blessing. And, I'm honored that the Houston Texans thought of me.
Thanks. How are you feeling? You said you're feeling better. How's your recovery? And what's your outlook for off season as far as when you might get back to being able to do a lot and
right.
practice football, lift weights, all that stuff?
Absolutely, man. I mean, it's unfortunate for me, Aaron, is that I have an injury that it's confusing. I actually feel like I'm able, like I'm healthy and able to still get out there and move and play. But the real reality is I can't with this torn brain. I probably should have my brace on right now. I didn't want to have it on for the Zoom call. But I mean, I'm just taking it day by day. Everything's been going well. The surgery went well. My rehab is going well. I'm just trusting God's plan for me. And I hope I'm supposed to be healthy. Come February, right before free agency. So I hope that I'm healthy enough that Houston Texans bring me back or not. I show that I'm able to be back and can help a team win. So I mean that's just what I'm doing. I'm taking everything day by day, trusting in God's plan for me.
Mark Berman.
Michael, what does it mean to you to win or not? What does it mean to you to have your name associated with Walter Payton and what that program means?
Man, Mark, I'll say this, first off, just for who Walter Payton was as a player, and to be one of those men who have been recognized, not just by Houston Texans, but the NFL, to be looked at as, somebody who is deemed a leader in their community, a leader of their team, who has always, given back to the community. I'm humbled, Mark, because there's so many men in our locker room, especially with the Houston Texans, that are worthy of this award. That have done amazing things. I mean, they have the actual winner in J.J. Watt for what he did a couple years back when the hurricane came to Houston. I mean, there's so many examples of men who do amazing things and great things in the community day in, day out, who don't seek recognition. They're doing it out the kindness of their heart every single day. And, I'm honored. And it's humbling to be, nominated for the Houston Texans. So for me, I don't take it lightly. Mark, I hope that I'm representing the Houston Texans, well, and I'm doing it to the best of my ability. And I just, want to continue to make my family proud. I want to continue to make, the Houston community proud. I want to continue to make the Texans organization proud. And I just want to do that by continuing to just spread love and, be authentically me. And that's all I try to do. I try to give back as much as I can. I try to be visible in the community. I try to, offer the resources that have been afforded to me, any type of knowledge that I've been given. Try to give it back out, and I think that's what represents any of the men who have been nominated as the Walter Payton Man of the Year.
Can you envision how you will? I know you don't do it for this reason, but you have been nominated. Can you envision what it would mean to you if you were to win this honor and your name goes on that trophy?
Right.
And it'll be on there in perpetuity.
Man, Mark, I can't. It's humbling just getting nominated here, but if I was to actually win. Somebody went again undrafted 2012 and spent a couple years on practice squad. It would only add to my testament to my journey, and I wouldn't stop doing anything that I'm doing because that's just who I am. But it would mean a lot to me. I would probably take any resources that I got from that award and use it toward trying to give back to the HBCU scholarships that I'm raising funds for. And that's just what I do, Mark. I wouldn't stop. I would just keep giving back to my communities, keep trying to spread love, keep trying to, just provide resources to my community, man. But it means a lot to me, man, especially coming from where I've been.
Who are the jersey numbers behind you? You got some different jerseys behind you there.
Well, I got
31.
A young Kenny Stills back there from our Miami days. That's my brother, man. shoot a couple of Pro Bowl, Giant jersey, cap jersey. Then I got a bunch that haven't been framed, a couple of luck letters. Don't mind the mess. Luck, Xavier Howard. Yeah, there's a bunch of jerseys. Batamosi, couple jerseys in here. I think Richard Sherman's up there somewhere. So yeah, man, I got a lot of boxes to go through though.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you so much, Mark.
Drew Doherty.
Hey, Michael, congratulations on the nomination. That's for the stuff you've done in the past. What do you have planned going forward? What else are you going to keep doing in the community?
Great question, Drew, and thank you, man. But like I said, I'm going to be continuing to raise money for HBCU scholarships. I think I finally, I've worked with, Allie Morgan. I think I finally came up with a goal that I'm trying to reach, and it's a crazy one. Somebody might say, it's out of reach, but I think if I can raise up to $250,000, I can create an endowment to give away $10,000 every year, for forever, I guess. So that's my goal, and a way that I can actually do that is I'm partnering with Carl Banks and Starter Jacket. I think we're going to come out with a no excuses starter jacket. And a portion of those sales are going to go toward raising funds for that scholarship for HBCU students. So that's one of the bigger things I have going on. Other than that, it's continuing to find ways to help out in the community when I can, regardless if that's through social justice events, if that's toward just education and trying to provide resources to my youth in Aldine for SAT, ACT prep.
Anyone else? Well, thank you, Michael, so much for joining us. We really appreciate it, and congratulations.
Thank y'all so much for having me.
We'll talk to you soon. That's it for today, everyone. Thank you.